everyone.
Hello!
And welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Bryony. And we are going to dive into the world of dreams and figure out what's going on in each other's heads.
It's chaos.
I felt like I was going to sneeze throughout all of that, so I rushed it a bit.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit quicker than usual.
I had a really weird sneeze thing the other day.
Right.
Already off topic. I went to sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
The sneeze part didn't come out. Like my nose just vetoed anything.
Right.
But my mouth just went, ha! And Alex was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, my sneeze just got cancelled. I don't know. It was just really weird. It just... And then I still had that like tingly nose, like, I was like, any second now, I'm going to sneeze. But I don't think it ever came. I don't know if I've sneezed since. Well, I must have.
You must have. Well, I don't know. Maybe you didn't.
It's going to be halfway through the episode. Just, whoa. My big dad sneeze.
Oh my gosh.
So, dreams, eh?
Hey, dreams. Yeah, that's what we talk about here.
We were saying before recording that we've both just been having just horrible, like, weird, like, type dreams.
Yeah.
So, those ones we're choosing not to bring.
Yeah.
Not to bring. Not to bring.
Choosing to ignore those ones.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
I've
those
either had
dreams.
like no dreams or gross dreams, but I have got a little one ready for today that I had the other day.
I was hoping to have one to bring today, but I mean, I do have another one, but the one I had last night was just so horrendous, and I was thinking, I wonder if it's because of Storm Eowyn, because do you find windy weather comforting or stressful? No in between.
I think comforting. I mean, it depends though. Like, I like hearing the wind outside.
Yeah.
But if it's just mildly windy, then I don't really pay attention, to be honest.
See, I'm the opposite. I find wind really, like, I barely slept last night just because the sound of wind, it makes me feel really, like, tired, like raggedly tired out, but not sleepy.
Right.
So I'll just lie there, just like, but I just couldn't sleep just because of the blooming storm. And then when I did sleep, I had a horrendous dream.
I've just found that I've not really been able to sleep very well this week in general. Like, I've been going to bed, I mean, early for me. I'm in bed at like 2 or 1 last night. And then I just lay there till like 3 or 4. You know, it's not like horrible insomnia. I've never really had insomnia before, but for me, it's not normal. It's kind of bad. So yeah, I've been feeling like super tired, and then I've been like recording a lot this week, so I'm waking up to an alarm. So no dreams are staying in my old brain this week.
Yeah. So I found recently that I have, I guess this is sort of normal for everyone. I have like my sleepy time, which is around about 10, maybe, or 9:30. I will start feeling sleepy then. But if I stay up thinking that's too early to go to bed, if I go to bed from like 11 onwards, I will just lie awake until like 3 a.m.
Right.
And then it doesn't matter what time in between that time I go to bed. It's like I have these little sleep train, and I miss it, and I have to wait until the next one. And it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
So I might just start going to bed at 10.
That's a good idea.
Why not?
I'm one of those people that doesn't wake up until the evening. Like, I all day I'll be super tired, honk, shoe me, but as soon as it hits like 8 o'clock, I'm like, hooray, it's daytime now. Woo, time to do stuff.
Yeah. See, I'm not really like a morning person. I'm not really a night person. I'm just not a person.
Not a person, no.
I think, do you know what I have been wondering actually? Is I think the reason I feel quite tired a lot of the time is because I think I might have an allergy to something, and it's constantly wearing me down. Because so many times, well, that's the thing, I don't know.
Oh.
An allergy to sleep, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
But so many times I wake up in the night and I have like my ear tubes are going wild. And it's just so scratchy, and my throat is itchy. And I thought for the longest time, it must be hamster, because we get a hamster. I wake up with allergies pretty much every night, and I have to take antihistamines before I go to bed and stuff like this. And I assumed it was that. But then we went on holiday, and it continued. And I was like, there's not a hamster in this room. And then I was like, maybe it's something to do with dust mites. But you would assume that a hotel room would have been freshly cleaned.
Yeah. Could it be the bed sheets?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know, because I don't know. We don't have like feathers in pillows or anything. So I don't think it could be that.
Even just the material, though. Like,
maybe. But I'm really tempted to go and get an allergy test and just find out, because it is driving me crazy having like the itchy throat all the time. It's because, it's like when you are sleepy and you wake up and you have a cramp and you're too sleepy to think the right way to deal with it. So you do the wrong thing. It's like that. Like as soon as I wake up and I have an itchy throat and then I scratch it with my, when you scratch the top of your mouth with your tongue because you're just too sleepy to think, don't do that, because that's horrible. And then I'm just there like, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, what was I going to say? One of the problems I've been having lately, not so much allergies, but have you ever had it where you are lying in bed and you can hear your blood pumping or your heart beating?
Yes.
I've been having that lately. Like I had to put music on last night just to drown it out. Like I'm laying there and I can hear the blood pumping through my body, through like my ears, into my head, and it's so unsettling, and I just can't sleep. I really can't. And that's what's been keeping me up quite a lot, I think.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just a bit, I feel like I say I'm burnt out every bloody week, but maybe it's just a bit of burnout or like stress or something, because I find it's really silly, but lately, like obviously we play a bit of Blood in the Clock Tower every now and then. And lately I've been bad a lot when we've been playing in our personal games. And when I'm bad, I often get the shakes, my temperature drops, or my heart beats really rapidly. So the real deception game for me is pretending that I'm okay. Like, and then I get into a call with like Xylus or Rythian who are storytelling, and I'm like, don't make me fucking bad again. Don't make me bad again.
Well, it's like, I think one of the last times we played together when we were on video for it might have been the Jingle Jam one.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing I did was take you into a call and be like, I'm just going to look at you and I'm going to assess. Don't say anything. I'm just going to get a good look.
Literally, it's very easy to tell if I'm bad because last night on webcam, I think part of it was like my bisexual lighting that I have in my office space, but my chest, like under my hoodie, you could just see the top of my chest poking out. It was bright red. It was bright fucking red because my heart was beating so fast, and I was just like, geez, cover it up. Oh my god. But no, so I'm not just saying this for the reason. I think like that is happening more often because I think I'm just more stressed at the moment at a baseline,
Yeah.
So when I'm put in a stressful situation like that, I just break down. But so as a result, my sleep's been struggling a little bit, and my dreams have been not happening very much.
Yeah.
So
I have a feeling that I am stressed about something and I'm not telling myself, which is a fun little thing to do with yourself. Because occasionally I'll get things that I usually get if I'm stressed, and I'm just like, what is it? Just tell me.
I have found that this month for me, it was having lots of little things to do. So it could well be that for you, because I've had getting ready for Dawnlight, our new Minecraft stream, which is very good and very fun, but also there's lots of little things, and it's like, oh, what if it goes wrong? Whoa. So there's that. Also,
taxes,
yes, invoices, which I know we both have, and just lots of other little things like that, like having to email people, having to write invoices out, having to do this, having to do that, and just ticking off little things from this long checklist. So it's not like I have this one big stressful event. It's just I have lots of small, easily done things, but I need to do them, and that is stressing me out. So it could be that.
It probably is. Yeah, I guess I did like take a lot on, and I guess as lovely as having a holiday in the middle was, I think that can cause. I hate that in our line of work, and I'm sure many others, having a holiday is inherently stressful because you're taking time off, and that's scary.
Yeah.
And then anytime like your numbers are low or your stream is quiet and blah, 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 you get that immediate thought of like, it's my fault. I had time off. I shouldn't have had time off. And
Absolutely.
you're just like, you can't think that way. It's so bad. But it comes with the territory sort of thing of like, I must always be here. But then, we have essentially like 2 weeks off for Jingle Jam. You come back and it's the same, but you just don't really think about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm trying not to be as hard on myself lately for that, because it's just not healthy. And you end up streaming and like not really coming across very well because you're so stressed. Like if I have a bad day, I often turn around to like I turn around to my chat and I'm just like, guys, I can't do today. I can't do it. And that's on a Wednesday because the way that the recordings and stuff line up, by Wednesday I'm just like, I really need a break. I just need an evening where I don't stream. So every time I do my schedule, I'm like, I'll be able to stream on Wednesday. And then Wednesday rolls around, I'm like, chat, I can't stream today. I can't do it. So this week I was like, sorry guys, I'm cancelling a Wednesday stream again. Classic me. And then I looked at my schedule and I'd written down, might stream on Wednesday. Probably not though. So I was like, oh, I foresaw this. Well done, past me.
Yeah. It's like I took Monday afternoon off because I was just like, I'm just going to get stuff done. And then I spend a lot of it staring.
Yeah. Monday was my tax day. We did a little cheeky recording for the Patreon, and then I was like, right, taxes, and I did it. I did it, and I got it done.
Nice.
And it was worth it because I think I ended up paying way too much last year, which explains a lot. So this year, it's not so bad. So a lot of stress immediately out the window. Thank God.
I miss the days when I used to do freelance PAYE jobs, which would mean that I paid too much tax. And at this time of year, I was claiming money back. That was nice. I don't like it this way round.
I don't like paying money.
I don't like having to pay things. It's much work. Why can't they just give me money? I like it that way.
It was dangerous though, because I went to Tesco yesterday and I was like, I have a little bit of extra money because I didn't have to use all of this money that I saved up. So I'm going to treat myself. So I got some Aussie shampoo and an innocent smoothie.
Oh.
Don't break the bank.
That just has the same energy to it as I'm in DuckTales, Larry. It's like, what would you spend your money on? Helicopters. It's like, it's new socks, probably. Oh. Do love new socks though. I got so excited because I think I got 13 new pairs of socks for Christmas.
Bloody hell.
I love socks.
I love socks, but I didn't get any at Christmas. Feels bad.
Oh, I got them all.
You did. I love getting socks and I love getting pajamas.
Yeah, I've not had new pajamas in a long time, I realise, because my pajamas are so ragged. And I realised that my niece is 13. And I remember posting photos of my niece on Instagram when she was born. So I've had Instagram for at least 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
I would say. And my first photo of my Instagram is a photo of my pajamas. So they're at least old. So I probably should get myself some new pajamas. I think I'm due.
I think you might be as well.
But the problem is, I did get new pajamas in that time, but I got them from Long Tall Sally. And Long Tall Sally's just really gone downhill and they make stuff so cheap and so sketchy now. And they just fell apart in like a month.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I don't know where tall ladies get their gym jams these days. If there's any tall ladies out there. Because then I was like, I got a Next voucher for Christmas. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll get some Next tall pajamas. But they stock Long Tall Sally. So I was like, no!
Guess not.
Independent pajamas, please. Thank you.
I love pajamas. I find that I often don't use pajama tops though, and I just use t-shirts instead. But pajama bottoms are great.
Yeah. I've always quite liked the idea of us getting matching pajamas, and when it's pickaxe week, we just do a little pajama stream together.
Yeah, I am 100% on board with this.
We make them make us a blanket fort, and we do it in there instead. Instead of at this table.
That was one of the things that I suggested
malarkey.
for Jingle Jam, but there's some reason they didn't want it.
Oh.
Well, no, that's not fair. They didn't say they didn't want it. It just didn't happen. But next year, I'll push for it. Give me my blanket fort. God damn it.
If we do Camp Yog, because camping, blanket fort.
Blanket fort, camping, it's basically a tent.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Duolingo recently has been teaching me, I've forgotten how you say it now, but it taught me the sentence, the witch likes to camp in the wood.
Oh.
And I was like, yes, she does. I think it's like, Die Hexe campen gern im Wald, I think, is the witch likes to camp in the forest. But I'm really bad at knowing which way round, because a lot of the sentences are like, I am on Saturday, the shops go, sort of thing. And I'm just like, oh.
No. I think Duolingo's been teaching me, I've been learning clothes, but now I'm learning stuff like, I am drawing, I am jumping, I am going, I am running, stuff like that.
Okay.
But the one the other day, I can't remember what the actual translation was, but it was, I have too many socks. And it was like, no, never.
Tell me I don't have enough socks. I did the whole section on birthdays. I can't remember what section I'm doing now. But what I found is that, like the other day, I went for a walk to the big shop, and all the way there, I did my Duolingo speak. You know, when you do the, the practice. I just did speaking practice all the way there and all the way back. And everyone else, I was thinking like, oh, people are going to think I'm just mad, just saying these weird German sentences to myself. But everyone I passed had headphones in and wasn't paying the blindest bit of attention. And now I'm in the top 10 in the Diamond League tournament. So
wow.
All you have to do is go for a walk and talk to yourself. Like I got an Uber the other day and my Uber driver was on the phone. So I was like, I'm just going to sit in the back and do my German practice. But I was on because I've been doing like the traveling portion of it. And so I kept on saying the word taxi. And I was thinking like, is he going to think I'm on the phone and just like bitching about him in German? When really I'm just saying the taxi ride to the hotel lasts 10 minutes. It's kind of like, why is she saying this? Why is she saying taxi? What?
Do I need to speed up?
Yeah. Especially as the German for taxi ride is taxi fart. So he's just going to be like, what are you saying about me?
Taxi fart. Oh,
taxi fart.
Wow.
Which is... would you like to hear my dream?
Yeah, go on then.
I think it's a bit of a rambly one. I'm sorry. I mean, they all are, but I think especially ramblesome. Here we go.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go. I had a bit of an all over the place dream, but I'll try and think what happened. So I remember at the beginning I was getting onto what was either a train or a small ferry, because I think it was a train on a river, and an old friend of mine was there who I haven't seen like over 10 years, and she was there with, I think her sister was there as well, and she was there with these two guys, and one of the guys seemed to be like expecting to meet me, and I was thinking, what's going on? Like, who are you? And then I went to just have a bath in the river, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, well, the train's leaving soon, you got to get ready. And I was like, how do I do this without everyone seeing? I was trying to like grab through the railings, this robe that was on the floor and all of this stuff. Another part of the dream I remember is that I joined a call with Kirsty and Rithian and was just telling them what my dream had been, and the whole time I was thinking, why am I doing this? Because now I can't use this dream on the podcast. And then there was a bit where I met Michael Palin, and I think I was I was on my parents' bed,
And he was like a friend of my dad. And there was another guy there who is like a friend of my dad. And he was talking about Greek mythology and saying like, oh, sometimes it's a bit much for me. And I was like, oh, I love it. And we were talking about, he was saying that he hates the Odyssey. But then we couldn't really understand what each other was saying. He started saying like, oh, what's the word for it? What's the word? And I was trying to like give him words, and he just kept looking at me like, what are you on about? And then the last bit of the dream was that usually I got this massive ship to school or work, I don't know, but like the size of a small cruise ship, like massive. And then I was going along with my friends and they were like, oh, it's the submarine today. It's a replacement submarine. But it looked exactly like a ferry. And I was like, oh, I didn't say anything, but I was thinking, I don't want to get on a submarine. I hate submarines. They're terrifying. But I was looking and all the seating was on the top. And I was like, well, it can't be going underwater then because everyone would drown. So I guess I'll get on. And I remember being really panicked and just like, oh, geez, I'm just going to have to jump off and swim if it starts going underwater. And I got on and someone was like, oh, I got you some sweets. And then a friend from primary school was there. And she was like, I feel bad whenever people get communal sweets because they always forget that Brandy can't eat a lot of jelly sweets. And I was like, that's okay. I just sort of pushed them back and carried on walking. And then I put the money down for the ferry just down on the bench, and I remember a pound coin rolled off and lodged itself on a bit of the ferry that was sticking out the side. And one of my friends, who I have no idea who it was, went and grabbed it and was like, are you okay? And then I woke up. So yeah, a weird one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. But yeah, that was a rambly one.
Yeah.
You did all sorts.
I'm guessing a boat that could sink at any moment is going to be anxiety.
Probably. Let me see if Ferry is in here.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've seen Michael Palin in anything recently. I don't really know why he popped up.
I don't think Michael Palin will be in here.
No.
A ferry is an archetypal vessel associated with transition from one stage of consciousness to another. And the ferryman is the archetypal wise old man. That's all it says.
Like Michael
Palin. Was Michael Palin on the ferry or was he before the ferry?
I think he was before the ferry.
Maybe he was the ferryman, but he missed it. And there's also, I could also look up submarine, but it wasn't technically a submarine, but your brain said it was.
Yeah, like it was a submarine, but you could still sit on the top of it, which I was a bit like...
stressful.
That seems worrying.
Subway. No, it's not on here. It might be under boat, potentially. Let me look.
Oh, maybe.
LMNOP.
Vessel.
LMNOP. Boat. Body takes up so much space in this book because it just lists every body part. Boat. Okay. A ferry is technically a boat as well. So if you dream of a boat, pay close attention to the condition of the boat and to the conditions of travel, as they will reveal much about your waking situation. Is there a storm brewing? Is the boat secure or is it in need of repair? Is it drifting aimlessly? Do you feel you're lacking direction? If the boat capsizes, it suggests imminent danger or obstacles ahead.
I mean, I guess as it was a submarine, it's not that there was it was capsizing, but there was just this feeling of dread.
Yeah, it's like this boat is going to submerge itself and there's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, just have to swim away. I think the boat itself, now I think about it, was from an episode of Poirot that I watched recently. It was, what was the ship? It was a ship that was doing its maiden voyage. It was like a cruise ship. But I can't... was it the Queen Mary?
Okay.
Maybe? And it was doing its maiden voyage from Britain to America. And yeah, it was pretty much that sort of ship. Just like a big
Yeah.
one.
Oh, so it was
But
a
not the
big
size
ferry
of-
then, or a big ferry submarine.
Yeah. But you know when you see the Titanic and you're like, whoa, that's huge. And then you see modern day cruise ships and they're actually quite like the Titanic was quite a small ship in today's standards sort of thing. It was a smaller one of those. Although I was thinking about the Titanic recently.
All right.
So I wonder if that influenced it. I was reading up. There was something. I was reading a book and it made a reference to the signalman of of a boat that tried to contact the Titanic.
Okay.
And it was just part of a story that I didn't know about. There was
Do you remember the name of the boat?
The name of the
Because there were other ones. What was it? I don't know. I want to say like the Olympic or something.
Oh, what was it? The Titanic.
Oh, the Olympic was one of the sister ships.
Oh, okay. I was reading about Jack Phillips, who was the wireless operator aboard the Titanic.
Oh, he was actually on the Titanic. Okay.
And it was, but it's because it mentioned, who was it? Okay, I'm going to do a quick scan of this and see if it reminds me. Oh, I was going to say the SS California. It was them who tried to contact them and be like, by the way, there's ice.
Oh, okay.
And I think he replied just like,
nah.
Shut up, I'm sending messages. Leave me alone. Go away. But
geez.
in whatever the sailor code for like, shut up was. And yeah. And they never found him. They found the guy who worked with him. Because the whole time I was reading about what had happened to this guy. And I was like, how do they know? And then I was like, oh, okay. His friend who was there with him survived. So he was recounting all of this. But yeah, I wonder if that influenced my
Yeah, it must have. If you were thinking about like ocean liners like that, it makes sense why you would be dreaming about one that's that big as well.
Yeah, because also the book that I read, I mean, it's a little, like a couple of weeks since I read it now, but it's one of those books that at the very beginning, like the prologue to the book, it says that the main person who the book is, like the perspective of the book, helped to kill their friend with their other friends. So you know that's
real
happened,
life?
like right at the start. Anyway, I read this book from jail, so no, it's fiction. And so you get to the point where obviously in the book, there's this sense of dread of like, when are they going to do it? And then there's a sense of dread of, when are they going to get caught? Because it mentions that it doesn't turn out good. And so there's just this constant feeling of like, oh, geez, oh, God. Because for like, it's not like there's any hope because it tells you it bad. So I wonder if it was like the combination of those things, like the mention of the Titanic in the book and then the general feeling of the book. And maybe that was just how my brain was translating to, because I think I am worried about my taxes. I just need to kick myself up the ass and do them because I actually quite like doing them. But I think it's just having this thing over you.
Yeah, it's just having the stress of doing it. You should do it because sometimes it takes a couple of days for it to calculate the total.
Yeah, that's what I had last time, and then I ended up paying it twice.
So you need to do it soon, not to add to the stress.
It didn't.
You should be stressing.
Because last year I paid it, but the website went down at the time I paid it, and then I was just like, so I paid it again, and then it turned out I paid it twice, and then I had to call up and be like, please, can I have money back? Yeah. That was all my money.
So, this is I did it late last year as well. Not late, but I did it late into the month when the deadline's the 31st, and I got charged more than double what I usually pay, and I was like, there's something wrong here, but because it was so late, I couldn't ring them up because the queue was so long. Yeah. I just couldn't get in contact with anyone. So it was either, pay it or don't and face the consequences. So I had to scramble to get all the money, and I couldn't set up a payment plan. I couldn't call anyone to be like, this is wrong, because it was so late. So yeah, doing it before the final week, I really recommend.
Do you know, as soon as you said I had to, I couldn't call them up, as soon as you said that, in my head, I heard which is the hold music for HMRC.
Oh my God, Bridie.
And it's so in my brain from how much I've had to spend on the phone with it's just going to live in there rent-free.
It's too joyful. They need a funeral dirge or something.
Yeah. And then it'll just stop and be like, your call is very important to us. And I'm just like, no, it's not. It is. You don't care about me. I'm nothing to you. Oh, geez. There was one year where I was like, do you know what? I'm going to be really good. And I did my taxes in like July or something. So I didn't have the stress. And then I still stressed every single day of January because I was thinking, did I do it? And I would have to check and be like, yeah, no, I did do it. I'm like, but did I really do it? I'm like, yes, I did it. So even paying it early just is still stressful.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
I think we found the root of the problem.
Yes.
It's tax season.
It's taxes. I think the other part of it, thinking about Michael Palin, I think maybe it's because, so I bought my dad Mythos, the book, and because I wanted to share my love of Greek mythology with my father. He read it and he was saying like, oh yeah, it's good. This was just before Christmas. So then I thought, well, I'll buy him Heroes, the second part of the Mythos series. And then when he came to pick me up for Christmas, he was like, yeah, I finished it. He was like, yeah. And I was like, well, you're getting the second part for Christmas because it's wrapped in a bag now. So I can't take it back. And then my mum has been messaging me recently being like, oh, he's reading this other book and he's really enjoying it. And I'm just like, okay. So I wonder if because I guess things I associate with my dad are watching things like Michael Palin's travel show and Monty Python. And so I wonder if Michael Palin being like, I don't really get the Odyssey. I wonder if that was my brain being a bit like, my father does not care for Greek mythology. He is represented here played by Michael Palin saying the Odyssey is shit. There you go. So I think it's probably that. But if he had have said sooner, I would have got him a different thing.
If you turn around and say you liked it, you're going to get the next one.
Yeah. Present done. Mental tick. No worries. Oh no.
Oh no.
I keep wanting to read The Odyssey. It is one of those ones that I've read, I guess because there's what's his chops? Christopher Nolan is doing a film on it.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh, I guess I should. There was something else I was reading about it recently as well. Maybe there's a musical called Epic, I think. It's not like a proper stage performance musical, but it's just this guy has written it and he's created it and he's got people singing it and there's lots of fan animations of it. And I was listening to that the other day and that's all about the Odyssey. And I was like, I really should just read it.
How long is it?
I keep waiting. Took him 10 bloody years.
It's a big one then. Well, you say that. If it's anything like Game of Thrones and Winds of Winter, then maybe it's, it's actually very short. You waited until the end of the 10 years.
Well, I've sort of been thinking about because Stephen Fry has done, that's the last one in the Mythos series is The Odyssey, but it's not out on paperback yet. So I'm just like, should I just read the original one? But then obviously, I'm not very good with the classical language things. I tried reading a play by Euripides, Euripides when I was on holiday, and I could read it, but I was just occasionally I'd be like, what does this mean?
I find that you kind of drift off sometimes as well. I'll be reading it and I'm reading these words, but they are not registering in my brain.
Yeah, it's sort of like with Shakespeare.
Exactly.
I get the gist of it, but I'm mostly going on vibes at this point.
I think part of me was a bit like that for the Silmarillion as well. It was just I'm reading this, but I'm not taking it in. Not so much because of the language, but it's the same similar sort of thing. I don't know. It's just the way that my brain reads.
In my mind, these stories were originally told sort of as stories, and obviously that was the language that stories were told in that time. Whereas I don't think it's bad to read modern retellings. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to read things where they're like, and then Hermes was like, "Yo, what's up, bitch?" And he was but you know what I mean, just more storytelling language.
Yeah. Was there anything else in this dream you wanted me to look up in the book?
No, I think that's pretty much covered all of it. There were the sweets.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not that big a fan of jelly sweets, so I didn't really mind not being able to eat them.
Do you think it would be under candy or sweet?
Oh, I guess you could try candy.
Oh, there we go. Seafood.
No, it wasn't seafood.
LMNOP. Candy. To see or eat sweets or candy in your dream symbolizes the joys, sweetness, and special treats of life. It also represents indulgence, sensuality, or forbidden pleasures.
Oh.
Is life sweet at the moment? A candy store indicates varied methods that are available for experiencing life's joys. A candy wrapper suggests recently experienced joys that should not be so easily forgotten.
Oh.
To see cheese in your dream indicates potential profit and gain in waking life. Cheese spread denotes a false impression or something which is a poor substitute for the original. Someone doesn't like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. Have I had any... Sounds like... Have I had any pleasure in my life recently?
No,
Let me think.
no, not that I can think of.
I mean, I can't think of anything that I've seen and been... Nothing stands out as... I'm trying to think, because for me, it's probably food. Do you know what there is actually? What it might be is... I think, did I mention this last time about the 9-course tasting experience? Yes. Maybe it's that. Maybe that is.
Are you doing it now? Or?
I think we might. I think we might just go for it. I said to Alex, and he was just like, it's only money. I was like, yes, but a lot of it. We don't have that much. But why not? So yeah, I think we might go for it.
Nice. Well, you have to report back.
Yeah. Maybe if I live stream the whole thing. You said that you have a short dream.
Yeah. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
It's not recorded, of course, as usual, so it would just be coming out of my mouth.
Oh.
So I dreamt I was in a car on a road. I was in the back of the car with, I think, my mum. And in the front of the car were the band members from My Chemical Romance. Gerard was driving, I think. And we were just driving down the road. Can't remember what we were talking about, but, come to think of it, I think I also dreamt about them last night as well. I don't know why. Anyway, so we were in the car, we were driving, and Tabs was in the back of the car with me, not in a carrier or anything. He was just loose, which isn't good because I had the window down a little bit. And as we were driving, we sort of slowed down a little bit, and Tabs put his paws up on the window and hopped out. And I was like, oh God, oh geez, oh my boy.
Oh no.
And he jumped out onto this like bloody motorway, at which point my mum was now driving and My Chemical Romance were gone. And mum pulls over on the hard shoulder. I jump out and I run down. And it was kind of, we were in not like a spaghetti junction, but you know when you're on the motorway and there's like 3 bridges above you where like 3 roads are intercepting, but it's not quite like a spaghetti junction. It's just lots of, I don't know. It's just lots. There's one on the M25, I think, but just lots of roads going over your current road. It was kind of like that. And we were on one of the bridges and he was on one of the roads below me, Tabs. So I just jumped down. I did a full-blown like, whoa, jump right down to my boy because I needed to get him back. I couldn't let him run around on this motorway because I think even before I jumped, actually, he was on the same level as me and I went to get him and he was in the middle of the road and I'm like trying to wave to the cars like, slow down! And he just wandered off and I was just like, for God's sake. And then he jumped down, so I jumped down. And then when I got down there, he wasn't on a road anymore. This was like an overpass, like for walking. And there were people on it and he was just fussing. He was like on his back and people were touching him and he's just like, oh, I'm having the best time. And I'm like, you fucking bastard, get back in the car right now. So I'm like picking him up and I'm like, we need to get back to the car. And yeah, so I think I took him back to the car. And after that, I don't remember anything about the car. That was just that section of the dream. And then later on, I was in a house and the house was kind of like being in an old like junk shop where there's lots of stuff like on the ceiling above you, just lots of like cabinets, lots of stuff everywhere. It was quite messy. And my aunt and uncle were there and loads of kids, like I think they were all meant to be their kids, but they don't have that many kids. So there was just kids everywhere, and it was just an absolute mess. So you had some of them in one of the rooms all playing video games on a big TV. My aunt and uncle were in the living room and they were just hanging out, and then there were just kids all over the shop doing stuff. And I was wandering around. There was like a whole story that happened, but I can't remember what it was. But I remember going and talking to my aunt and uncle and asking, "Oh, weren't you planning on getting a dog?" And my aunt turned around and was like, "Oh yeah, about that. Like we were going to do it, but they wanted to see the house and it was too messy." And she like gestures to just all of the shit everywhere. So we're going to have to put a hold on that. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that was it. That's all I remember. Yeah.
Oh.
So that was the dream.
I mean, the first part of it sounds very much stress.
It was pretty stressful. Not for Taz. He had a great time.
Yeah. Because I guess, I mean, it just gave me flashbacks to that time we were staying at mine and he did get out.
Oh my God, yeah. Jesus.
Because I just remember getting it was not funny at the time, but just getting the alert through on our security camera in the garden, just like 18 movements. We're just like, what's going on in there? Dear, oh dear. But yeah.
Yeah, he he's a little bugger. But yeah, he got out and I got him back, thank God.
It just surprises me because he's such a scaredy baby.
Well, that was the thing. Like when he did manage to get out, he was just being really skittish, and that's why it was hard to get him back in, because he was just sitting in one place. Yeah. And it's like one of those things, if you try and corner him, he'll just keep going back into the corner, you know? So he ended up in your neighbour's garden. I had to go and talk to the neighbour and be like, "Hello, please." Yeah. Please give cat.
I don't know. Is there anything you would like to look up for this? Oh, she in charge.
I guess
of
roads. There were a lot of roads.
Yeah.
MCR won't be in there. That's twice now they've shown up.
Why not? I mean, what would you say My Chemical Romance represent for you?
Road. In the universal language of the mind, a road represents the direction of your life, which can be determined by the goals and ideals you make on your own. If you cross a road in your dream, this suggests potential uncertainty in waking life. I didn't cross a road. I jumped off of one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe that makes sense if, like, have you been feeling recently like, oh, I don't know what direction to maybe take streaming or other stuff?
Not really. I've been really enjoying my streams lately because I've been playing Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Republic 2, and that game's so fun. But it's one of those games where it's like, I'm just playing this because I enjoy it, and if people like it, that's great. But it turns out people do really enjoy it, so that's a bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm having a lovely time doing that. Yeah, everything's been sort of doing pretty good. I'm having a good time for the most part.
That's what your brain wants you to think. Inside, you're full of terrible anxiety and lack of direction and speeding cars.
But yeah, I don't know why MCR keep turning up, because I'm certain I dreamt about them last night as well. I don't know in what context, but I'm sure they showed up. But maybe, I mean, before bed I was talking about how old I am with some pals. It's my birthday soon.
Your birthday.
Yeah.
So
maybe I'm thinking back to my childhood.
Yeah, like bands you grew up with and like formative year things. That would make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
And how many roads you've travelled down.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, I went to bed thinking, I said, it's my birthday. I mean, it's less than 3 weeks now. It's in like 18 days. A bit more than that, actually. What are we on? 24th, 31 days in, I don't know the math. It's on the 14th of February is my birthday. So, yeah. So I went to bed after saying to someone that my birthday was then, and also talking about our new Minecraft series. And I was like, I'm doing Minecraft RP and I'm nearly 32 years old. That was my bed thought. And then I dreamed about My Chemical Romance.
She's regressing. Yeah, but you're the baby.
I am the baby of the group. Yeah, I am. I don't care. I'll do Minecraft RP when I'm 60. I don't care.
Yay! I'll be there.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, it was. I don't think it was particularly. I mean, it was stressful, but it wasn't like a bad dream.
Yeah,
it was just a time. It was just a thing that happened. Like it wasn't me like, oh my god, Tabs has escaped. It was, for God's sake, Tabs, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
Especially when he was laying there getting stroked by all the random people on the footpath.
I keep on having dreams, and I don't know what this means. I keep on having dreams that I see Fauna, and he has a long tail like a mouse. I don't know why, but it's happened like 3 times in 3 different dreams now, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Maybe that's just his dream self.
He wants to be a mouse. I mean, yesterday I was looking at videos of mice, so that makes sense. But maybe I did that because I was dreaming about them, and then it snuck into my subconscious, and then it snuck back again, and it's come full circle now. I don't know. But I do occasionally think if we, like, the next time we don't have a hamster, like when Fauna gets adopted and stuff, I have been very tempted to fill that tank with mice. Fill it.
Just full of mice.
Full of mice.
Perfect. That sounds great. Heaven.
Yeah. I love the idea of having like 6 mice in there, because I feel like they would still have enough space, because it's a pretty big tank and mice are very tiny.
They're so small. Come to think
That's
of it, like,
dream.
I don't really dream about Tabs very much. I can't think of another dream I've had with Tabs in it. So, yeah, there he was in my dreams.
I dream about the bunnies. Whenever I do, it's horrible. Because it's always one of them's ill, or one of them's escaped, or one of them, like, we've lost one of them or something. So, like, the last one I had was, I don't remember if I told you this one. I had put the bunnies on the table and then left, and then I came back and I was like, oh my gosh, the bunnies have just been on the table all day and they've not had food or water or anything. And Fifi was just really like floppy, and I was trying to get her to drink, but her water bowl was like really dirty, and I was trying to get Alex to change the water, and it was just horrible. And that is my like standard. If I dream about the bunnies, it's that. If I dream about Alex, it's usually he's trying to divorce me. Just everything is a disaster.
You know, you've been talking about playing Tactical Breach Wizards lately. There are sections in that game where you basically play through dream sequences with the characters.
Oh.
And for each one, they're basically fighting their demons and just talking to their dream self like, why are we dreaming about this? Why are you torturing me like this? And it just sounds so perfect for you.
Yeah. I just don't understand what... Do you know what? This is unrelated. Well, no, it's very related to the podcast. But I want us to try making that dream tea and then seeing if we get nice dreams out of that. Maybe next time we are together physically. Yes. We could try it, and then then we'd have to sleep together. But you know what I mean. That is the one condition I have.
Get a tent. Let's go.
If the tents are rocking, don't come a knocking. But maybe next time we're staying somewhere, we could try the dream tea, because it's got nutmeg, so that's going to make us hallucinate.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't put too much in there.
So yeah, I think we should do that.
I agree. I think that's a good idea.
Nice. Well. Thank you for a very lovely chat as always,
you, my
Kirsty.
love.
And thank you everyone for listening. And until next time, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.